Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For those that are new to my channel, I'm Jenny420 and welcome guys. So today I want to talk to you guys about something that's been going on, and I want to also make this video because if you are somebody that's trying to get pregnant, I just want to let you know that I'm with you and to not lose hope. This is something that happened to me. It was somewhat of a scary experience. Let me try to explain to you guys because sometimes I be like all over the place. Me and Brian been trying to have a baby already for, I would say, like a year and a half. So I lost my baby back in 2020 and I didn't want to get pregnant right away. I wanted to give myself some time to heal, so I gave myself about 7 to 8 months, almost a year, for me to be okay with having another baby. So ever since those 8 months passed, it's been like a year and a half now that I've been trying to have a baby, and for some reason it's not happening. So I downloaded the app, the app that was helping me know when I was ovulating and stuff, and I was trying to go with that app for about a year, I would say. I was trying to follow this app called Flow. My sister had told me to download it, so I've been trying to, like, you know, put when my period starts, when it ends, when I'm ovulating. It tells me all that stuff. For some reason it wasn't working for us. I wasn't getting pregnant. So I think, yeah, so some time passed. I came across this doctor and I explained to her what was going on, my situation, that I've been trying to get pregnant and it's not working. She's a OBGYN doctor. So yeah, so I explained to her my situation. I told her that I had a miscarriage and like all this stuff, right? So she told me she was gonna help me. So when she told me to let her know when my period stopped, my period started and when it stopped, and we were gonna track it to see when I started ovulating, so she could tell me, you know. So once I started, we did blood tests. She took my FSH, and I think she took it like 3 times to see, like, you know, when I was ovulating. So we did blood tests and everything was fine. So when I was supposed to be ovulating, I guess she found out that my ovulation doesn't last longer than it should. I think it's supposed to last about this is an example. If the ovulation is supposed to last 5 days, mine was just lasting 3 days. So she gave me this option to take this medication called Letrozole. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it. So it's like a medication that helps your ovulation stay strong. So point is that I started this medication and everything seemed to be going good. I had to see her after I took the medication. I had to take the medication right before I was about to end my period. I think it was like 5 pills. So I took this medication, right? And after I took the medication, I had to see her for like a whole week straight because she had to monitor that everything was going good, that everything was normal, because I guess like the medication could cause you to have more than 1 baby, I believe. I'm not quite sure how that medication works, but I know that it helps you with ovulation. After like a week after I took that medication, I went for like an ultrasound with her, and we ended up finding out that there was a sac there. We weren't sure if the medication caused that or it was a pregnancy. So point is that we had to wait some time. I think we waited like 2 weeks. She just told me, you know, like not to get too excited because we don't know what it is. She told me to go home and take a pregnancy test, but when I took that pregnancy test, it ended up coming out positive, and I was like excited and kind of scared at the same time because I wasn't sure if it was a pregnancy test. I mean, if I was pregnant or not. So I didn't really have like a big reaction to it. I was just kind of like afraid in a way. And I didn't want to tell nothing to Brian. I wasn't going to tell anything to nobody. I was just going to, you know, surprise them. But I felt like I couldn't take this on my own. So I had to tell him. I had to tell Brian what was going on. I told him that the test came out positive, but I wasn't sure why. If I wasn't sure if I was pregnant or not. Like, I was just completely lost. So when I told him that, he started crying. He started crying because he's scared for something. He's scared for something to happen again, like my last pregnancy. He's scared for something like that to happen again, and I completely understand him. But I just looked at him and I told him, like, you know, if this is meant to happen again, then it's meant to happen again. We have no control of it, you know. It's all in God's hands. I trust God, and if it happens, it happens, and if it doesn't, then I'm so ready for it, you know. So yeah, so he understood me, and yeah, like, you know, I was like, we're in this together, like, you know, it's not, I don't want to go through this by myself. I want you to be with me, and through every step of the way. So he was every doctor's appointment that I was going to, he was there for me. So, you know, I had that good support from him. When I went back to the doctor's office to check, I think we had to give it some time to see if, like, you know, if there was something inside, because it was too soon to find out, because it was like, I think it was like two or 3 weeks. I was like 2 or 3 weeks pregnant, so we couldn't really see anything just yet. So we gave it some time, and I was just anxious, you know, but I was like trying not to not to let it get to me. So point is that after when I went to go see the doctor, she did another ultrasound on me, and we ended up finding out that I had an empty sac. Like, I was pregnant, but I had no baby there. And you know, I was understanding. Like, I was like, okay, maybe, you know, maybe this time it didn't work. I don't know what caused that. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that, but my mom went through that once herself. So it was just I was pregnant, and I had the crazy thing is that I had every pregnancy symptoms for a whole month. I would say like a month or almost 2 months. I felt like I was pregnant, and I had every symptom. Like, I was craving stuff. I was craving sweets. I gained a couple of pounds because of this pregnancy. I was just getting cravings. I was tired all the time. I was sleeping a lot. Like, I was just unmotivated. This was before New Year's. So I was feeling unmotivated. I didn't want to, like, I just wanted to sleep. I just wanted to sleep. And it's crazy because these same symptoms, I was having them when I was pregnant for Bentley. Just freaking crazy that I was basically pregnant with just a empty sac. Like, there was no baby in there. And the bag was there for, I believe, 2-3 months. Yeah, I had to leave it, no, for 2 months, I would say. The bag was there for 2 months, and because the doctor told me that, you know, that I just have to give it time, and I was not okay with it because I just wanted to get everything over with. Like, if I didn't have a baby, I just wanted to get this bag out, you know. But she told me that it couldn't happen that way. We have to just give it time, and it, like, you know, it will drop on, eventually it will drop on its own. Once it knows that there's no baby in there, I think the bag just drops or something. I'm not sure exactly how, but yeah, so I went spotting, and I will spot some days, and then I will bleach some days, and then like, kind of like a period, I was like, oh, okay, the bag is about to drop or something, you know. So it wasn't happening. Like, every time that I will have my, like, I will feel like it was a period, I will bleed for like 2 days, and then it will just eventually go away, and like nothing happened. And then it continued to be that way for a little bit. I kind of had some hope that maybe it was still too early for the pregnancy, and we were not going to be able to see anything. But time passed, and we did another ultrasound just to make sure, and there was nothing there. So after the holidays passed, I messaged her, and I told her, like, you know, can you take another look, because I'm not sure if the sac's still there or whatever. So we made an appointment, and I went again to go see her, and we found out that the bag was still in the same place. Like, it was, nothing was moving. So she told me that she was gonna prescribe me this medication for the sac to drop, right? So it's kind of like she gave me a medication, kind of like it was kind of like an abortion. Well, it was an abortion, but obviously there was no baby in there. So she had to give me that medication, and I had to take it. So we waited for the weekend to pass, because I also work, so we had to wait for the weekend to come, so that way I could take the medication, and then, you know, like, I could be like resting over the weekend. I took the medication, and it was a Friday night. She told me, like, you know, like, you have to mentally, like, prepare yourself, because this is gonna be a lot of cramping, and you're gonna bleed, and you're gonna have like really bad cramps, you're gonna be in pain. So so she's like, you know, go home. After that was after work that Friday. After work, I went home, and I prepared myself, like, trying mentally prepare myself, but I was scared in a way, because, you know, I didn't want to go through the pain. Like, I know it was gonna be bad. So yeah, I went home. I told the kids, you know, what was going on, because they had no idea what was going on, but I wanted to prepare them just in case of anything, because I didn't want them to be like, why, like, you know, if I was crying or like saying that I was cramping or I was hurting, I didn't want them to be scared, you know. So I had to talk to them, and I told them what was gonna happen, that I had to drop this bag, so I was gonna take some medication, and like, yeah, so they understood and they were okay with it. But good thing it wasn't that bad while they were awake. I waited for Brian to get home because I didn't want to go through this pain by myself, and you know, just being here home with the kids. So she told me once I get home and I'm ready to take the medication, 30 minutes before that, to take an ibuprofen 800 milligrams, because I was going to be in a lot of cramps. I was going to be cramping and it was going to be bad. So I took the medication. I took the ibuprofen 30 minutes before. And then I took the took the medication. I took the ibuprofen at 8, and at 8:30 I took the medication that she prescribed me. So once I took that medication, it seemed like it wasn't that bad at that moment. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. I was kind of scared to knock out because it was already like nighttime, and I woke up early that Friday, so I was kind of tired, you know. So I was trying not to fall asleep because I didn't know when or what was gonna happen. So I was kind of scared to knock out, but I ended up knocking out, and I woke up like at 12, like at 11 or 12 at midnight, and I was kind of whining in my sleep, like, because I was in pain, and I was just whining, but I was still asleep. And then Brian woke me up and he told me if I was okay, and then when I kind of started waking up more, I started feeling more of the cramping, like I was cramping, and it was pretty bad. It wasn't something that I couldn't hang. It wasn't something that I couldn't tolerate, but I was cramping. So I got up. Once I couldn't help it no more, I got up, and then I went to the restroom. I threw a big clot like the size of a lime. It was like kind of like this. And then after that, because when I took the medication, I wasn't bleeding at all. Like everything had gone away. I was just kind of like throwing discharge, but it wasn't nothing major. So after the cramping, I went to the restroom, and I threw a big clot like the size like this. It was kind of like this big, and it didn't hurt or nothing. I just felt like something was like a bag was dropping, you know. It didn't hurt, it was just uncomfortable because I felt something like kind of like sliding down. So, and then it just like boop, like it just dropped, right? So after that, the cramping and everything had gone away. Like it was just weird. The cramping went away, and I was like, oh, okay, you know, it's over with. So so I put on a pad and everything. I put so I put on a pad, and I went back to lay down because I was still tired. After that, I got up an hour later, right? And then I touched my pants, and I had gone through, like I was bleeding a lot. So I went to the restroom, and I went to change. And I went to the restroom, and when I put my pants down, my pad was like soaking wet. Like it was wet, like you know when you left the baby's diaper on for so long that you carry it and it's like heavy. That's how my pad felt. Like it was just heavy, like it was heavy. So I was like, damn. So I was like, well, maybe it fell already, so you know, maybe it dropped already, and that's why I'm bleeding. So so point is that I changed, and this time, because the first time I only had put one pad, but it was one of those sleeping big pads. So yeah, so this time I had put 2 of them, and I went back to sleep. And the next time when I went to go change, I put 2 pads, but 2 pads of the big ones. So I went back after I changed everything. I went back to bed, and I knocked out. And then it happened again. An hour later, it happened again. I woke up again, and I touched my butt, and then the pad was like soaking wet again. So I was like, damn. So so point is that I got up. Brian was asleep. I just, you know, it was nothing major to me. It was nothing major to me. It's something that, you know, I could get up and do. So I wasn't in pain no more. I was just bleeding. So yeah, Brian had knocked out already. So I just, like, you know, I got up and went to the restroom, and then I changed my whole clothes again. Tell me why I went back to sleep. I literally just knocked out, or after I changed, I went back to sleep, and but this time before I knocked out, I said to myself, I'm gonna put a 40-minute timer. I mean, 40-minute timer. I'm gonna put a timer just to see how fast my pads were soaking, you know, because it was kind of like back like an hour after an hour. Like it was an hour apart, that at the times that I was just going through by a lot. So so when I went to go lay down the last time, I put the timer before I knocked out, and yeah, sure enough, I knocked out again. And then shortly after, I touched myself again, and I was like, damn, I'm bleeding again. You know, it was kind of like irritating me already. It was irritating me because it was just like, you know, like it was just bad. So I got my phone and I checked, and it was 40 minutes. 40 minutes that had went by before I soaked the last big pad, you know. So so I was like, damn. And then I was kind of started to worry at that time, because I was like, damn, this is bad. So then I don't know if it's good or bad to do that, but I searched on the internet that said if you're soaking within an hour or so, it's something could be bad, you know. So point is that I got up. And the last time I got up, and once I started walking, I was walking to the restroom, and I tried to turn on the light, and my vision, when I turned on the light, I felt like my vision was blurry, and I was like, is it me, or is it because in my mind I was like, is it me, or is it because I got up too fast? Like, you know, that's what I was thinking, like I got up too fast. So I started seeing my vision even more blurry. And then Brian was on the side of the bed, like on the side, kind of like close to the restroom. And I was like, babe, I remember just saying, babe, I'm not feeling good. So as soon as I said that, guys, it was the scariest moment of our lives. As soon as I said that, he got up fast, and then I just dropped. Like, I dropped to the floor, and I guess I fainted. Like, I fainted, and it was just so bad. Like, I fainted for, I don't know, he said it felt like longer than a minute, but maybe it wasn't, and maybe just like how, you know, you just feel like it's been long. So he got up and he started screaming my name. He's like, Jennifer, like, I mean, so he got up and he started screaming my name, and he was afraid. And I guess he screamed so loud, he was screaming so loud that the kids woke up, and like he was screaming so loud that the kids woke up. And after a while, after a couple seconds, I came back. Like, I came back, and then I seen him like I started hearing him, like when I was coming back, I started kind of hearing him from far screaming my name. And like, he was just, he was lost, like he didn't know what to do. So point is that I came back, and I was on the floor. I was on the floor, and he helped me get up, right? So when he helped me get up, I remember I got up, and then I had a pile like this, like kind of like if you was to throw this whole water bottle on the floor, and it was just like a whole pile of the blood, like under where I was down at, you know. So he was scared, like, you know, and I would have been scared myself. So yeah, so he helped me up, and he helped me go to the toilet because I was bleeding. So once I put my pants down, like I had like, again, like the big pad, I had the big pads full of blood. So I put my pants down, it was like blood everywhere, like it was fucking crazy. But I felt so weak, like when he helped me up, I felt so weak. My body felt so cold. Like I wasn't cold, but my body from the inside felt cold. I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's just so weird. And yeah, so he called the doctor, and good thing she answered right away. And she was just telling him that the reason why I fainted was because I was losing so much blood, so I have to stay hydrated, I have to drink water, and if I have Gatorade, to drink that as well. And it's just something that happened because I lost a lot of blood, right? I sat down in the toilet for a while because I was just trying to, like, you know, to keep myself together, because I just felt like I just felt out of it. Like, I just felt really out of it. After I started feeling a little bit better, I told him that I wanted to shower. It was like probably like 5 in the morning. I told him that I wanted to shower, and then he was there. He kept the door open, and he was just watching me just in case I fainted or whatever. But yeah, guys, it was a scary moment of my life, like of our lives. Probably more for him than to me, because he had to see what happened to me, like, you know. And after I showered, I laid down in the bed, and the bleeding had completely stopped. Like, it happened for like 4 hours that I was bleeding like non-stop. Like, it was just bad. And then after that, after I showered, like, the blood kind of calmed down a little bit, a lot. The blood calmed down a lot, and I wasn't bleeding like that anymore. So yeah, guys, it was just like something so fucking scary. Brian went and he bought me more drinks, and he bought me breakfast. And after I ate the breakfast, I felt much better. After I ate the breakfast, I felt much better, and I was talking to him, and I told him, like, you know, like, what happened. And then he said that after I screamed that I wasn't feeling good, he said that I just dropped to the floor, and I started having, like, I thought I had fainted. That's what I thought, because I didn't feel anything. But he said that I was having a seizure. He was afraid of that. And then, like, him getting me up and then having the pile of blood in the floor, he almost called the ambulance. On Monday, that was over the weekend, so on Monday I went to go see the doctor. I went to see the doctor because she wanted to see me to make sure that everything came out. And yeah, thank God everything's out. The crazy thing is that all this happened that same day that my sister went, that same night that I had to take the medication. At midnight when I woke up, my sister was on her way to the hospital, which was mind-blowing. She was on the way to the hospital, and yeah, like, I didn't get to see her at the hospital because I was recovering when she was at the hospital. But I already went to go see my nephew. He's so adorable. It's just crazy how things happen. But I know one day we're gonna be back in this camera, and I'm gonna announce to you guys that I'm pregnant. I know, and I have faith that it's gonna happen. And if it doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen, but I have faith that it will happen. I just wanted to tell you guys my crazy story and everything that I went through. But yeah guys, but how I'm feeling right now, I don't want to take any medications. I don't want to feel like I'm forcing to do something. Like, I don't want to force to get pregnant if it's not meant for it to happen right now, you know. So my plans are to continue seeing the doctor, but for her to help me just know when I'm ovulating. But that's like it. Like, I don't want to take any medication anymore. I want to try to do things natural. I know that there's certain fruits and certain stuff that you could do naturally to boost your ovulation. So I'm gonna do research on that, and if you guys have any suggestions, I would appreciate if you guys comment down below. Let's just see what happens this year. I have big hopes. I always do. I never stop believing that things could happen. I'm a big believer in God, so I know that one day and when it's time, I'm gonna get pregnant. But for now, we're here, and this is my path, and let's see what this new year brings me and us. Let's believe. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe, and turn on your post notifications, and I'll see you on my next video. Peace.